All right, so I'm gonna use the flat black. Decided, and I don't know. This can's been around a while, so maybe either it's got a skin on it or it's completely no good. Break that skin off. Underneath. Sometimes I just leave the skin in there. This one I want to stir up pretty good though. So stir that one up. Now I am using flat black, but I am going to be putting a coat, some kind of clear coat on there. I want to stir this real good because I can feel a lot of stuff on the bottom. I don't mind stirring paints with screwdrivers or chisels, because then I go somewhere and I see, oh, it's got paint all over it. It's mine. It belongs to me. I know which tools are mine because they got paint on it. Now, I kind of screwed up and didn't clean my brushes on them. So, lacquer thinner. If you're unfamiliar with lacquer thinner, it's nothing like mineral spirits. Lacquer thinner will eat paint off. Mineral spirits will clean a surface. It really doesn't eat paint at all. It'll mineral or lacquer thinner will clean marker, like black magic marker off something. Maybe mineral spirits would, but I don't. Not as good. Not as good. Lacquer thinner has a nice smell, better smell to it than me. To me, I'd rather use lacquer thinner any day. So put a little lacquer thinner in here. Try this lacquer thinner. Put a little lacquer thinner in there. Well, it will definitely clean paintbrushes. Oil paint, like a noise. Even water-based paint brushes, if you've left them and they've hardened on you, soak them in a little lacquer thinner, and it will separate it to the point to where you could reuse it, at least for a junky brush for something not important. If you know you're going to be just touching up something, you're going to throw it away when you're done. You could clean it up again with lacquer thinner. Just going to let those sit in the lacquer thinner for a couple minutes and it'll soften them up. Another good thing about the table, you get paint on it, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All I need is one brush. It's already softening up. These brushes have been sitting in here for over a week. 2 weeks probably. And it all dried up. They were sitting in They were sitting in the turpentine. The turpentine seems to work pretty well as well, but it's strong. The smell is strong. I don't want to deal with the smell right now. Get a rag. Since we're using black, it's not as crucial to get the brush spotless, but it's clean. It's clean. I want to get it dry as I can because I don't want a lot of lacquer in there. I really don't know what the effects of lacquer mixed with this paint would do. So I'm going to stir this up a little bit more. I want it nice and dark. And we're losing daylight. Losing daylight. At least I can get one coat on there. You can put it on pretty thick because it will dry thick. It will leave a nice thick letter. I choose to brush the signs because it does a better job. Spray paint just doesn't look right. It looks too thin. It doesn't leave a thick enough letter. And flat paint's going to kind of leave a not quite of a thick letter, but at least I'm brushing it so it will look a little more thick. So what I've decided to do is paint the lines, and then after I'm done, I'm going to try to take a Sharpie and draw those numbers in. So that way they're there, and when I clear coat it, hopefully the Sharpie marker does not bleed. If that happens, then I'm back to square one. Bring you in here so you can see what I'm doing. Pick you up this way because my cord, I got you plugged in. I'm just going to put you right here. Something like that, right? You don't have to be perfect with this. Just sometimes if you actually go down, over, kind of like you're spelling it out, you know, like you're doing it by hand, it gives the letter a better effect if you kind of follow the letter. Box. Now, depending on the amount of letters and multiple colors, definitely the amount of letters determines how much I charge and time, how long it takes. This sign didn't really take me too long, but some of my signs have taken me 5-6 hours, depending on what the subject is, how many colors, the technique. This one's fairly simple because it's all black. There was probably a little more prep in the board. Depends on what you're doing. I've noticed when I was peeling the tape, it's peeling my paint. So I'm gonna have to peel this tape real slow. We'll see. Before I go to bed, I'll try to put one more coat on here for tomorrow morning, and then all I have to do is put the chair back together, and that gives it all night to dry. It won't be sticky, the chair paint, and when I'm working with it, I'm not, you know, smudging it and putting fingerprints in it. So that should be good. Put that together back in the morning. This sign should be good. I'm hanging this sign on a chain, so to be able to do that, I have a couple different types of chain. I have a nice medium-sized galvanized chain. Your standard, like, you know, gate chain, whatever, your standard chain. Then I have some little chain. I might look at some old signs and see what kind of chain they used on them. And my only thing is putting in those numbers now. Double check a little bit. Now, if you had a lot of open grain on the wood, if it was like oak or something like oak, then the paint has a tendency to bleed underneath your tape, and it looks okay when it's done. It's, you know, it's part of the deal. If that's what you use a piece of oak, I've used a piece of oak, and it looked okay with the little bit of bleeding, just a little bit of lines of bleeding through. It was not the end of it, but this one shouldn't have a lot of it because it's already painted for one, and it's tight grain. It looked like a piece of pine of some kind. I'm not really sure, but that's that for now. If it looks good, I'm not going to put another coat. I'm just going to smooth it out to where when I peel it, it all looks consistent.